Okay, so here we are in Excel, and all of this workbook with all of these ANOVA stuff is available in the link in the description. Make sure you download it, get started. Again, you're going to need QE Suite for this one because we're going to be using the mean squared error. So link in the description, that'll show you how to get your free trial started, 2-month free trial. Or if you download this actual this workbook, it will prompt you automatically because all of this math is already filled out. It has the functions. Just go ahead, follow that through, get your free trial started, and we can get going here. So again, all the math should be in here for you. Go ahead and delete that if you want to take a look. Okay, so the first thing that we're going to want to do is come down here and just get all of our treatments. So I'm going to say transpose, and I'm going to transpose the range that includes all of our treatments, and then I want to get the mean of each treatment. So that equals average, and we're using our friend the filter function. Select the entire range of data, and you know what, let's absolute reference this. And then what we're going to do is take our range of treatment names and then absolute reference that, set it equal to that treatment. Double close parentheses and enter. And there is our mean. And then we'll double click to drag it down. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to copy that same thing over in this N. And then I'm going to paste it. And instead of average, I'm going to take the count. And that gives me the number of measurements in that. So you're going to get used to this. We use this pretty much, those functions pretty much every time with these post hoc testing. Okay, now we need to sort by the means in descending order. So what we're going to do here is we are going to take each of these treatments and we're going to sort them by. So we're going to use the equals sort by function. Select this entire array by our mean array. So we're sorting by our mean, and we're going to say -1 for descending order. Enter, and there we go. Everything is sorted. So the reason we're sorting is because QE Suite's going to sort it, and we want this to look exactly like QE Suite. Okay, awesome. So here's what we're going to do now. We are going to take the comparison. So I'm going to say concat. The comparison of that, and let's absolute reference that with F4, and then we'll add a quotation space minus space quotation, and then select the next treatment. So that's going to give us this label here. And the reason we do that is if we drag down there, it's going to allow us to fill in all the way, and we're going to do a very similar thing, except now we're going to take that next one, and then F4 for absolute reference, space, minus space, and then we'll take that, and we'll drag that down, and then we're going to say concat, our last one, second to last, space minus, and then our last treatment. Okay, so we have all of our comparisons written out. Now we need to take the mean difference. Okay, so this is pretty easy. All we're going to do is, let's do this. We'll just drag this, pop that over, right? And we will say, turn that into a G, get rid of concat. We already did some of this work, so might as well make it work for us. And there we have our mean difference there. Looks great. And now what we're going to do is kind of the same thing. We'll take our treatment 3 and we'll F4 that, take our treatment 2, drop that down, and then our final is going to be like that. Okay, awesome. And one thing I forgot, I was going to show you this, so I need to actually replace this data. So in yours, you won't have to do this. There we go. So the numbers just changed a little bit. This is important later because I'm going to show you some of the grouping mechanisms later on some other stuff. So don't worry, that is not Fisher LSD. My apologies on that. Okay, back to the Fisher LSD. We are looking at this t-value. So if you remember, for this, we're going to need our mean squared error. So we'll just use equals QE dot ANOVA one way. This is where you're going to need QE Suite. Make sure to get your free trial started. And then we just select that whole range. And there we go, one way ANOVA. And so this right here is where we're looking for our mean squared error. So for our t, that equals our mean difference divided by square root of our mean squared error, and we're going to F for that so that it's absolute referenced, and then times, we're going to say 1 over, and you know what, I'm going to double parentheses, 1 divided by that n, remember, and we're going to absolute reference that with F4, close one of our parentheses, and then we're going to add, open parentheses, 1 over treatment 3, double close, and then triple close, enter. All right, so there we have our t value for that first comparison. And now because I have everything absolute referenced, I can drag that down 4 times. Now you see we have a divide by 0, and that should be expected. So now what we're going to do is just adjust those. Looking good. And drop those down again. And we're just going to say 15 and 14 so that we're selecting those 2 treatments. And again, there we go. We have all of our t values. Okay, now it's time to do our LSD, our least significant difference. For that, we need our critical value. So if you remember, our critical value is going to depend on that alpha, and we're going to use a 0.05. So it's t dot inverse of 1 minus, and then it's alpha over 2, and our degrees of freedom is our error degrees of freedom in our one-way ANOVA. And then we hit enter, and there is our t critical. So our LSD equals t critical, absolute reference that, times, and this is going to be the square root of our mean squared error. So actually, let's just do this. We already know that we need this, so we take that and we say times that, and we can drop that down 3 times. And now we take our t crit times, whoops, again, let's go back in here. We're taking that square root of the mean squared error times 1 over equals our t crit absolute reference times that thing we copied. Drop it down again, jump in here, and we'll steal that again. Equals t crit times that, and I saw that I accidentally took a division. There we go. And remember, because they all have the same n number, they should all be the same. But if you don't have a balanced ANOVA, you are definitely going to want to make sure that you aren't just copying and pasting that. Okay, p-value, not too bad in Excel especially. t.dis.twotaild of our t-value with our DFE. Oops, DFE. Boy, that does not want to, I'm just going to, okay, there we go, R24. And then I'm going to absolute reference that. There we go. And drop it down. All right, let's check it against QE Suite. So we'll say QE.Fisher LSD. Come over here, select all of our treatments, and enter. There we go. Everything, oh, we have a slightly different order here. But everything looks good. You'll see we have treatment 1 to 3, 3.2. So we're just in a slightly different order, and that's no problem at all, really, just because we went in a different order. But all the math looks good, and we can start to say, yep, treatment 1 is significantly different than all of our other treatments. Well, that's wonderful. So that is the Fisher LSD. Whole lot easier in QE Suite. Make sure you get your free trial. But now you understand the math. Now you know how to use it a little bit. If you have any questions, please reach out, and I'm happy to help you. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great day, and please do something awesome.